And I believe that's true. I believe that none of us ever has enough information to be a pessimist. You really don't. You don't know enough to know that it's not going to be true. So you have to have an open mind. And we talked about this one earlier. I believe the greatest freedom you have is choice. And I've met a lot of folks who spend most of their life looking for some reason to be pissed off. And why would you want to hang around with folks like that? I mean, life is really too short to deal with that. And along with responsibilities and privileges, we have obligations. But I will tell you that every privilege that you have, freedom's not free. And every privilege that you have has a responsibility. And before you accept a privilege, you should know the responsibilities that go with that privilege. And I've never found anything that's stronger than understanding that expectation determines outcomes with any other single factor. I'm going to promise you, your kids are going to turn out to be about what you expect. If you expect a lot, you'll get a lot. If you don't expect very much, you won't get very much. Your relationships with other people are going to turn out to be about what you expect. There is a direct relationship between what you expect and what's going to happen. So don't let somebody else lower your expectations. Make sure that you are the person who is in charge of your expectations. That is a true statement. Expectations drive outcomes. The second thing that the second century quote, and I found 4 different sources for that, so I didn't put any of them down, says that you can't give away what you don't have. It's also known as the universal law of attraction, which says that you get back from the world what you give to the world. So if you give the world hate, you'll get hate. If you give despair, you'll get despair. If you give fear, you'll get fear. You will always get back from the world what you put into the world. It is true. I swear to you it is true. It doesn't always happen instantaneously, but it always happens throughout life. The third thing is that there is no justified resentments. There's absolutely nothing that I've ever found that justify hate. There's absolutely, prejudice is always against something that the person that you're prejudiced against cannot control. You see, you can only be prejudiced against something that's uncontrollable. You cannot be prejudiced against anything that's controllable. There can never be any resentment. Life's too short for that. So you have to eliminate blame from everything you encounter. You have to. It doesn't matter who caused it, especially in business. What matters is, how can we fix it? How do I get to the point where there is no blame, or at least there's less blame, there's only a reason to make it work right? Because resentment blinds you to possibility and reality, and it causes physical as well as mental anguish. So resentment is, it's a huge physical problem. Angry people have more diseases than happy people. Angry people die earlier than happy people. I swear to you, it's true. You need to laugh more. And if you can't laugh at someone else, if you can't laugh at yourself, laugh at someone else. As long as you have someone else to laugh at, that's important. The fourth thing that I found, and these are kind of my words, but these all go back to either 2nd or 3rd century. And this one out of 3rd century, but it says this: don't die with your music still in you. I think that's important. It's amazing how quickly death comes and how early death comes to people who choose not to follow their dream. One of my heroes, and I was fortunate 40 years ago to get to meet on 2 different occasions, was a guy named Walt Disney. And Disney had this belief that there is in your life, there's 2 different lines. There is a lifeline,